this is going to be the conversation, in the fall. Is are players kneeling, and what's the league going to do about it? If they should do anything about it, is the league fine with it? That's going to be the conversation. And how does that not drown out the conversation that's necessary to be had, because the kneeling has nothing to do with the anthem or the flag? It has to do with what exactly you said. So how do you, I guess, solve that issue when clearly we are expecting some sort of protests to take place with players when football is played this fall, Demario?
Yeah, we have a lot of time till the fall. Let's just talk about the protests that are going on right now. There's a much more extreme protest happening in the streets right now, where you have millions of people who are protesting and marching in the streets, not just in America. Millions of people of all ethnic groups, millions and millions of people all around the world in different countries taking the streets and marching specifically on behalf of black people, and bringing justice to the cops that are responsible for the death of George Floyd, the cops that are responsible for the death of Ahmaud Arbery, cops responsible for the death of Breonna Taylor. And, that's what I think the conversation should be around. Like, why are we talking about a form of protest that may or may not take place in the fall, when there's a much greater protest? There are more people in the streets than there is in the entire NFL. And so why aren't we talking about this global outcry that is going on, that players are actually participating? Like, why are the players in the streets? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the form of protest that they're taking now. Why are players speaking out now? Why are players being engaged in their community and meeting with legislators and meeting with activists right now? So let's just talk about that.
So let's talk about that, Demario Davis, then. What do you want people to do? Like, if you could, I'll give you my platform, our platform here at this show. What do you want people to do when they hear you and hear your fellow NFL players take to the streets and want change?
Well, I think we should look for justice for these families, and understand that we can't really bring justice to these families because we can't bring them back. That would be real justice, but we can honor those families in first convicting the cops that are responsible for these murders. And I think that will go a long way towards being symbolic of changes on the way. And after we convict the cops that are responsible, we can change the way that we do policing in America. After we in America know how to respond to crisis. After 9/11, we changed the way that we go through airports. You'll never go through an airport and it'll be the same. You change up the entire process, change the way that the TSA workers check you. So we can change the way. We certainly can change the way that we do policing in our country. I think there are a ton of good police officers. We need to find a way to empower those good police officers to help eradicate the police department of bad cops. I think we need to find ways to empower prosecutors to be able to prosecute the bad cops when they do wrong things, and there'd be a greater sense of accountability. There's a bill on the floor right now about to be passed, or that we're hoping to get passed, that puts an end to qualified immunity. Pretty much that lets police officers move untouched, and so things of that nature that helps us change the way that we do policing in our country. I think that's first, and then we need to be again attack. Racism is in the heart, but we can attack the racial injustice structures that exist in our country. And so if we all the people who are moving and saying, hey, we want to help the black community, this is how. Like, let's begin with justice, and let's put an end to black people being brutally murdered in the streets. And then, let's work to end all these racial injustice structures that exist in our country.